cursed child. Are you willing to pay it? Nyah hesitated but nodded. She was willing to sacrifice anything if it meant she could take Sefina's place. In the peaceful village of Zephara, two young women, Nyah and Sefina, shared an unbreakable bond. They had grown up together, learning the ways of the land, laughing under the moonlight, and dreaming about the future. Sefina was known for her kindness and striking beauty, while Nyah was admired for her wit and sharp mind. They were inseparable, like the river and the sea, complementing each other in every way. But everything changed when the King Zubari came searching for a bride. His eyes fell upon Sefina, and he was instantly captivated by her beauty. The village rejoiced when he chose her to be his queen, showering her with gifts and blessings. Though Nyah smiled and cheered for her friend, a storm of jealousy brewed within her heart. She always imagined they would rise together, not that one would leave the other behind. As Sefina moved into the grand palace, Nyah felt abandoned. She tried to silence the bitterness gnawing in her soul, but every visit to the palace made her feel smaller, less significant. The more she saw Sefina dressed in silk, adored by the people, the deeper the resentment grew. She was no longer content with just being Sefina's friend. She wanted what Sefina had. And so a dangerous thought took root in her mind, whispering promises of power and revenge. Nyah's envy became unbearable, and soon sought counsel from an old woman rumored to be a sorceress. Deep within the mistwood forest, she found the crow dwelling, a hut made of twisted branches and adorned with bones. The air smelled of damp earth and something foul. Yet, Nyah pressed forward. "I need power," she declared, her voice trembling with suppressed fury. The sorceress studied her with piercing eyes and smiled knowingly. "How comes that a cursed child? Are you willing to pay it?" Nyah hesitated but nodded. She was willing to sacrifice anything if it meant she could take Sefina's place. The sorceress handed her a vial filled with shimmering blue liquid. This will transform her into a golden fish, forever cursed to swim in the waters of the river. But beware, for the truth always finds a way to rise. Nyah clutched the potion tightly, her heart pounding. That night, she invited Sefina for a farewell dinner, pretending to celebrate their friendship. As they laughed and reminisced, Nyah secretly poured the potion into Sefina's goblet. The moment she took a sip, Sefina gasped, her body shimmering before vanishing into thin air. A golden fish flopped onto the floor, its eyes wide with confusion and fear. Nyah scooped it up and rushed to the river, tossing it into the current. She watched as it disappeared beneath the surface. A wicked smile crept onto her lips. Sefina was gone, and now it was Nyah's turn to shine. With Sefina missing, the palace fell into mourning. King Zubari was devastated, refusing to believe his beloved had simply vanished. Nyah wasted no time, offering her shoulder for him to lean on, whispering words of comfort and devotion. She played her role masterfully, acting as the ever-loyal friend grieving for her lost companion. Days turned into weeks, and Zubari, weary from sorrow, found solace in Nyah's presence. Slowly, she filled the void left behind by Sefina. The people, desperate for a queen, began accepting her. Soon, the king announced their union, making Nyah the new queen of Zephara. As she walked through the palace halls, now dressed in the finest silks, she reveled in her triumph. Yet, in the quiet of the night, guilt gnawed at her soul. The whispers of the winds sounded like Sefina's voice, and the rippling water outside the palace reminded her of the golden fish she had cast away. Still, she silenced the unease with feasts and celebrations, determined to enjoy the life she had stolen. One morning, a poor fisherman named Jengo cast his net into the river and pulled out a magnificent golden fish. Its scales shimmered like the sun, and its eyes yet strangely human. Amazed, he took it home, intending to sell it at the village market. But as he placed it in the bowl, the fish spoke. "Please, do not sell me. I am Sefina, the true queen of Zephara. I was betrayed by my closest friend." Jengo gasped, dropped the bowl in shock. Fear gripped his heart, yet he sensed the fish was telling the truth. Hearing the commotion, the daughter Kesi rushed in. The moment she locked eyes with the fish, she felt a connection, as if the spirit of the river itself had reached out to her. "We must help her," Kesi insisted. Though hesitant, Jengo agreed. He hid the golden fish in a small pond behind their home, vowing to find a way to reveal the truth. But the village was filled with spies, and word soon spread about the strange talking fish in the fisherman's home. Nyah's days of glory were numbered. As whispers reached the palace about the golden fish, she felt a similar dread creeping in. She ordered her guards to seize it, but Kesi had anticipated this. She gathered the villagers and led them to the palace, carrying the bowl with the fish inside.
"This is your true queen,"
she cried. The crowd gasped as the fish shimmered and began to transform. Before their very eyes, Sefina stood once more, her beauty radiant even in her tattered garments. King Zubari, overwhelmed with emotion, rushed to embrace her.
"Sefina, my love,"
he cried. Realization dawned upon the villagers, and their gazes turned to Nyah. Fear gripped her as their murmurs grew into an uproar. The king's wrath burned like fire, and Nyah fell to her knees, begging for mercy. But mercy was a luxury she had long denied Sefina. The end. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please give this video a like, hit the subscribe button for more interesting stories like this, and I'll see you in the next one.